When I went to university, I applied to 2 different universities. They were both about 1,000 miles away from home, and a little bit nervous my first time leaving home. The school that won out, because I was accepted at both of them, the school that won out was the one that invited me down about 6 months before the school year began to tour me around the campus for the weekend, to introduce me to some of the professors, to help show me where things were. That's the one that won out because I was more comfortable there. Same is true with everything we do, right? When you buy a car, you want to test drive it. If you want to hire a caterer for something, you want to sample the food. What about learning iridology? Do you want to sample the school? Do you want to sample the learning environment? Yeah, probably, right? So you may have seen my YouTube videos where I'm teaching and introducing iridology concepts. So that's a great way for you to see my teaching style. Let's take a look at the classroom right now. When you enroll in the Dynamic Iridology Assessment System program, you will be sent login information for this site, and you just simply enter your credentials and password, and in you go. It will initially bring you into the community page. This is like our Facebook group, only it's not Facebook. It's totally off Facebook. We can talk about anything we want here. In the discussion section is where you can talk about anything you want related to iridology and the business of iridology, or any of the courses that you're enrolled in with me. The events tab is the calendar where I post usually just the office hours. This also gives you the link to join us for the office hours. We'll talk about those in a minute. And you can also see a list of the members. What that does is if you've got a classmate that you want to connect with, you can find them here and then have a chat with them. Right? Maybe you connected with somebody in office hours and you want to touch base with them again outside of office hours. Then you can find them in the members list and then go have a chat with them. Now, what about your course? You're going to come to this little home button. You're going to go home, as I like to say. This is going to bring you here. Now, join a group is going to take you right back to community. Take a course is going to show you the courses that you are enrolled in. Now, this is my demo account, so it shows all the courses that are currently running or have been running recently. And so here you will find that as an enrollee in the Dynamic Iridology Assessment System, you'll have 2 tabs. You'll have office hours. Office hours are held twice each month. They are a live interactive webinar where students can come and share questions, share cases, get support with anything to do with iridology. And you will also find that you have your cohort. Now, let's look at a cohort that's running right now. We'll look at the 2025 May cohort. When you come into your cohort, you will find that you've got your modules plus a welcome module. So welcome getting started is where you're going to begin, obviously. And it's got all kinds of little videos about using your smartphone to take photos and, getting some basic information like that. Downloadables is a very important tab. In here, you will see when you click on that, you've got all of those initial recordings we saw listed, but you're also going to find your files section. This is where the gold is. You've got a sample of a release or informed consent form that you can take and change it, alter it to be your credentials and your name. Imbalanced priority list is something we work with further on in the course after about module 15. The cheat sheets, think of these as your Coles Notes or Cliff's Notes version of the course. Everything in the course pretty much distilled down into 45 pages of charts and tables for easy reference. The textbook, don't worry about the date. This just tells you when was the last little bit of an edit made. Usually the edit is simply me feeling like one paragraph needs some clarification. So it's not usually a major edit, but the most recent version will always be in your file and will always be accessible to you. The iridology map we use is the Dynamic Iridology map. And so you've got a downloadable version there, which of course you can just print up on regular paper. You've got your pupil tonus map because we talk about pupil shape and size, and you've got a downloadable version there as well. And of course, by now you may already know that we use 3 charts, and the 3rd chart is copyrighted by another instructor. So in order to get that, you will have the opportunity when you enroll in Dynamic Iridology to purchase a kit of the 3 maps, nicely laminated, very durable, okay? You'll find steps to certification so that you know exactly what you need to do when you need to do it to qualify, to certify with the International Iridology Practitioners Association. You'll see your course schedule listing the date and the module we're going to be covering, also showing when you have a week off. Over Christmas, we often will take time off, and there's some other times when we might just have a week off in the middle of your program. The IRIS evaluation form is a form that we use to learn the process of doing an IRIS evaluation, and it's very useful when we're learning. It is not something you will use in clinical practice because it will waste a ton of time when you're with a client, but it's a great guide when you are starting. So those are your downloadables in that very first welcome module. You haven't even started the class yet, and you're getting all kinds of good value here. So then what do we have? Then we are going to scroll down, and you will find that about 2 days before each class is going to happen, the module for that class will open for you. There might be a little video to warm you up. After we've had the class, within 24 hours of the class, I will drop in the recording of your actual class session. Now, why is that important? That's important because the course is 20 modules long. The chances that you're going to have to miss one of those classes is significant. You need to be able to make that information up. So that recording is there for you to come back if you've missed a class session, or if you just want to review. Sometimes we take interesting side trips in our classes and you're going, oh, that was juicy, and you want to come back to it. It'll be there for you. Now, I don't keep attendance. I'm going to tell you how I mark whether you were present or not in a moment. You'll see that we've got all these other recordings here. These are mini recordings of every topic we cover in the course. These recordings are typically 30 seconds to 5 minutes long. I encourage my students to watch these videos before coming to class if they possibly can. It's a great way to prime you for the discussion and for the deeper information that I want to give you in class. You'll have a foundation for us to work from, and that's valuable. I mark your attendance by your quizzes. I require each of my students to get 100% on each and every quiz. You can do the quizzes as many times as you need to. The quizzes are self-marking. They will show you which questions you got right and which questions you got wrong. And so when you see that, I encourage you when you do a quiz to screenshot it and then to go back and review the questions you got wrong. Do the research. Get that understanding, get that knowledge before you redo the quiz, so that when you come back to the quiz, you're going to use that screenshot, and you're going to use the right answers that you got, and then you're going to take the new correct answers that you got and use those, right? Does that make sense? Then screenshot that when you've got 100%. It becomes an auxiliary study guide for you. You can do the quizzes as many times as you want. It pains me to see a student do a quiz more than 3 times because that tells me they are floundering. Okay, if you have done a quiz 3 times and don't have 100% on it, I really expect you to come into office hours and to ask questions about that question to help you understand the correct answer more deeply so that you're not going to struggle with that as you move forward. You will see that because this cohort is in session, we've got lots of these that are active all the way down, and we get down towards the bottom, and oh, Module 16 is coming soon. They don't have access to this one yet. They'll get access 2 or 3 days before their next class. Now, this is really important because once you've had that class, you did your pre-study, you had the class, then you've got 4 or 5 days to study, ingrain, and really learn the material before we add another layer on top. And because the course is set up to be sequential, the foundation you have is critical because the next information will build on it, the next information will build on that, and so on. So really important that I've blocked it so you cannot skip ahead in the recordings. You can in your textbook, of course, but you can't do it in the recordings. I want you focusing on what we are just learning right now. Finally, you will see that at the end of this, there are practice tests. Now, what is the purpose of these practice tests? In order to certify, after you've jumped through my hoops, to certify with IPA, you need to jump through their hoops. Now, their final hoop is a 4-hour multiple choice exam that is divided into 7 sections. Each of those sections has to have a passing grade of 80% or better. Many of my students have been out of school for a length of time. The idea of sitting down to a 4-hour exam can be very nerve-wracking for them. So I've set these practice tests up to mimic the IPA exam. Similar types of questions, similar types of wording, similar numbers of questions in each practice test section, so that when you get to this point in the course, you can set a timer for 4 hours, sit down and go through the practice tests. Did you get 80% on each of these practice tests? Preferably better, because if you did, chances are you will do well on the final IPA exam. Each of our core classes, each of our module classes, the live interactive classes are structured so that we begin with, are there any questions? Any questions from anything we've covered so far? Open mic, you've got a question, I want it asked. Then we do a quick review of what we learned last week. Then we cover new material, and then we spend time practicing it together. Right, so there's lots of chance for review, lots of chance for embedding this information really solidly, and multiple chances and opportunities for you to ask questions and to get further knowledge and further confidence in what you are learning. So if you've already got the college level anatomy and physiology course under your belt, and if you're liking what you're seeing here with this little sneak peek of what is inside the student site, I hope you'll reach out to me so we can discuss how the Dynamic Iridology Assessment System can be a benefit to you and your clients. Look forward to speaking with you soon.